Item 3, public comments. This is the time to address the City Council on any matter not listed on this agenda that is within the subject matter jurisdiction of the City Council. Public comments are limited to 3 minutes per person and a time limit of 15 minutes for this segment of the public comments portion of the agenda. We have one speaker request form. Mr. Shawn Gordon.
Mr. Mayor, this doesn't really reflect on you too much. There's currently no official way to get the City Council to consider a proposal. Last year, I suggested that we adopt something similar to petition.whitehouse.gov, where residents could put together a petition and get a percentage of the voting public. In the case of our city, we could do something similar using change.org. Approximately 300 residents could vote on that, which would then require the City Council consider it and address it from the dais. Currently, the procedure, to the extent a procedure exists, is that we have to email one of you, and if you respond, then we have to meet you for coffee or something, and then if you like me and you like my idea, then you bring it up to the rest of the council to consider. And if they like it, then it gets considered. That contains far too much personal bias to be a reasonable method of government. I'm going to underscore the problem that I've experienced in this regard. Many people in town are afraid to speak to or against the City Council, and with good reason. I have personally been libeled and slandered by members of this council. One of you told a state representative recently that I was crazy and they shouldn't listen to me. Another of you emailed a resident here and told them I was spreading misinformation about Dove Canyon Plaza, which history has proved that I was right. Another of you sent 3 different city agencies to my house to harass me. I've been cyberbullied by family members of the council and planning commission, and on social media, with one even threatening me, which I met with law enforcement to discuss how best to handle it and received good advice from Deputy Gomez. Thank you. I emailed the council member involved and the city manager and requested acknowledgement. That was 2 weeks ago, and I have not heard back. Recently, my divorce records in court have been dug up and posted in the Rancho Facebook group. My emails to Councilmember Beall always go unanswered. My emails to Councilmember Gamble are answered about 30% of the time. The rest of you tend to be pretty responsive. This is no way to represent the people of this city. There is a sizable percentage of people in this town that are afraid of you. And if it were me sitting up there, that would bother me. Improved citizen engagement should be a high priority, I would think. And to sum up, I died 4 years ago from a heart attack. I was dead for 5 minutes. It changes your perspective on things. I do these things because I believe they're right. I am not compensated by anybody for anything that I do. I believe they're right, and I spend a lot of time researching it. The fact that I get attacked like this, as I mentioned, I don't think is appropriate. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gordon. Item 4, consent calendar. All matters on the consent calendar are to be approved in one motion unless a council member... I'm sorry.
Sorry, just a question. I guess to the city manager, it's alarming comments we just heard. I'm just curious, has there ever been any kind of complaints filed relative to the alleged abuses that have taken place by council members or staff members here? Because I just don't want it to go unresponded to. If there's a problem, I'd like to know what it is, and I'm just curious, has our public speaker ever filed any formal complaint regarding anybody doing something improper here?
I know there was a visit to the sheriff's police services department, and that was about it. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Jennifer, I emailed you 2 weeks ago. You should have a copy of that.
My observation is that I just think there are formal processes to lodge a complaint, and allegations of wrongdoing shouldn't just be made from the public comment.
Noted.
Microphone without any evidence or proof. Thank you.
From candidates that will be running for city council.
Okay. Item 4, consent